Not gonna lie to you, I knew going into this game that it'd be short, but with the way that it ended, I was like, wait, that was genuinely interesting. You gotta tell me more. You're really gonna leave me hanging like that? I wasn't expecting much from the game from a narrative standpoint, but the little bit of story that it does tell and how it uses it through gameplay to reinforce it, while not unique to this game, is still very well done. Let's talk about it. Kill the Crows is a twin-stick arcade shooter about a gunslinger burning with vengeance as she steps into the ruins of a forsaken town, ready to face death. That's the gist of what you need to know, and honestly, that's the most the game gives you up front from the Steam blurb. That said, more backstory is given through the blurbs of various guns that you get, showdown abilities you earn, and passives. It's cryptic overall in a way that you can piece some things together, but once you're done with the game, it'll leave you wanting more. Hence why I said what I said earlier. The game has this beautiful pixel art style that really makes me wish I could explore other areas of the game, even ones that aren't actually in the game. I just want to see more of the game world. But alas, the entire 2.5 hour, according to how long to beat, that's how long it is, game takes place in an arena-like village full of enemies that you have to kill. I know I said town earlier, and I just said village now, but you get my point. It's a place. One by one, you'll take them down, but you need to be careful because as quickly as you can mow them down, the same can be said about you. Much like in other games like Hotline Miami, once you're hit, you're dead. Thankfully, like in the Hotline Miami, it's very easy to hop right back into the action. Granted, you'll have to start from the beginning. You can't just continue from where you died. The controls are pretty simple and tight, with all the buttons you need besides WASD residing on the mouse. The game does have full controller support, but I opted to use my mouse and keyboard because I have more control that way. That's just me. Left mouse button fires your gun, and right mouse button uses your showdown ability, which is basically like Deadeye in Red Dead Redemption. And for some weapons, or just one of them, I don't really recall off the top of my head right now, middle mouse button is a secondary fire. The gameplay as it stands is already enough of a blast, but you can also equip the gunslinger with different passives to help you out, as well as swap guns and showdown abilities for different effects and other means of taking down the crows. Finding that perfect balance of gameplay that works for you is half the fun, in my opinion. Now, to get these new guns and showdowns, you'll need to complete challenges. Said challenges aren't super difficult, aside from one that I was like, ooh, that might be a little tricky. But again, that really depends on how well you play. Some of the challenges are just basically kill this many enemies in general. Others are like, get to this point in the game without using this ability. And then others are like, hey, that thing you like doing? Yeah, don't do that. For like 20 kills. Speaking of difficulty, there are multiple levels of difficulty besides the base difficulty. I only played on the base difficulty, so I'm not sure how much harder it gets, but much like the other unlocks, you will need to progress through the game to unlock other difficulties. But if you want to remain on the difficulty that you're on, whatever it may be, and still spice things up, you can apply curses to your runs. Yay, curses. The curses are a double-edged sword and are also unlocked as you go. One of the curses I used was one that made enemies spawn faster, which is bad for me, but they deal friendly fire to each other if you do pick that curse, so that is good for me. That kind of thing. Did I stick with that curse for the rest of my playthrough though? No, it got hectic the further I got, so I just went back to the regular pace. But it was cool to try. And before you ask, yes, the gameplay truly does seem to be endless until you do a very specific thing, but I'm not going to spoil that. All I know is that you can keep going for however long you want to until you do that thing. Said thing is not hard to figure out though once you're there, so it's not like you'll be lost. That said, I did the thing on accident. That's how my run ended. I was like, oh, it's over. Huh. The music in Kill the Crows isn't plentiful, but it is excellent for what should get on your nerves after a while. You know what I'm talking about. That stage when you're finally fed up with a boss or encounter and you start childishly mocking their dialogue and hating their boss music despite the fact that the composer didn't do anything to you. Everyone has that one track in their history of being a gamer that just haunts them to this day. But again, the music you do get in this game is excellently done and definitely fits the vibe. It's busy enough that it gets your attention and you're enjoying it, but it's not so busy that it's getting in the way and like, say, blaring trumpets in your face. Kill the Crows gets a go for it from me, and you can pick it up for $5 on PC, Nintendo Switch, and Mac OS. And with that, I hope you all have enjoyed your stay. I'm TUSDarryl, and I'll catch you guys later.